Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our Fierce Friday for the Million Mom Movement on January 22nd, 2021. I'm happy to be your hostess for the occasion. My name is Rebecca Johns, and I'm located in Flint, Michigan. I am a minister and a holistic health practitioner, a purpose coach, and a proud mommy. And I am a mom on a mission. And Mom on a Mission is what many of us are on this call with the Million Mom Movement. And as we began, we were really all about the moms. We were about 1,000 moms in 100 cities, helping 10 families eat healthier with the knowledge and information and resource of Purium Health Products, organic, non-GMO superfoods, and moving forward their real food revolution. But we've become so much more. We've become so much more. We are now, that MOM is more like a movement of many, because we are moms, dads, non-parents, educators, caregivers, influencers, simply people who have a heart with this in mind. You are aligned with our grassroots organization's mission to empower and educate people and activate, mobilize people to be conscious consumers and activists in their own daily lives with how they choose to live and how they vote with their spending dollars. We give life into corporations and businesses and organizations with the moolah. And so I'm happy to be with you today, Rebecca Johns, and I would love if my peers on the council would drop a C down there for council or right council. We are 6 women from across the country and Canada who really come together each week and multiple times throughout each week to bring each other the sharpening of tools, the sharpening of self, and then to you who are our constituents in the Million Mom Movement. There is no Million Mom Movement without all of you. And so thank you for making time to be with us on the council, because our power together is much greater than our time apart. So today's call is really about what the Million Mom Movement is really going to drill down to and be about. And that is not just a change for the self, but a transformation that becomes possible through real food and a healthy lifestyle for the family, for the whole family. My sister Taz just did a live with the Million Mom group a little while ago today, talking about the importance of translating our healthy habits and positive health living to our children. And she's such a great demonstration of that, truly a leader in our enterprise. And you'll be hearing from her a little bit later today. But the Million Mom Movement really begins with a pledge, a promise of who we will be, and not just us on the council, but you in the field. And I'd like to turn it over to Carmela Velarde, council member, who will share the pledge with us. Take it away, sister.
Let me hop in here. Carmela just messaged us and she's running late and couldn't get up on the call. So
thank you, Jodi, for catching that.
I can bring it up really quick though, and I can share it. Go to
absolutely. So Jodi will be reading for Carmela,
everybody.
And then if you would just send it over to
Here,
Nayeva.
I'll share my
that,
screen.
Jodi.
I can do that. All right. Find I was going to share my screen, but of course it's not showing up here. So just give me a second here, guys, because, you know, off the top of my head here, we're scrambling. Here we go. Share my screen.
Oh, good.
Million Mom Movement. I want you to join. And this is where you can join us right here. Fill it in. We do not share your information. It's just for us. But if you come all the way down here, you will see the Million Mom Movement pledge. And we will turn off my phone because, you know, this is what happens with technical difficulties. I pledge to defend the health of my family and of myself. I pledge to reject GMOs, artificial ingredients, trans fats, and overprocessed foods. I pledge to educate myself, read labels, and lead by example. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health of future generations. I am committed to sharing this mission until we are 1,000,000 moms strong. And with that, and in talking about becoming 1,000,000 moms strong, Naeva, can you please come on here and talk about our petition and how one of the things that we're doing here in the world to pledge, shall we say?
Of course, of course. Thank you so much for having me on. Welcome, everyone. And yes, glyphosate is a huge issue. For those of you who don't know, I live out on the beautiful island of Kauai. And what I didn't know growing up is that all the hundreds of acres of papaya fields in my backyard were being sprayed by glyphosate. And my mom made such a huge effort to make sure that we ate all organic food. And she literally never budged. Like, I would want a candy bar and she'd be like, it's not organic, you can't have it. But little did she know that in our backyard, we were being inundated with the same chemical being sprayed right behind us. And not only that, but that crosses over onto her 2-acre farm. Not only that, it evaporates into the air and rains down on everybody around us. And so there's no way to avoid this chemical. It's everywhere. It's been found in our food, in our water, in breast milk. It's been found, you know, in all kinds of cleaning detergents and different things like that. And so it really is everywhere. It's sprayed around hotels and apartment complexes, around playgrounds and schools. And it ends up in our food because they use it to spray on a lot of grains like wheat and oats and soy as a desiccant. It helps to dry up the crops and make it ready to harvest a little faster. So it literally bulks up the oats or the wheat so that we can harvest it. And then we harvest it, but it doesn't wash off. It doesn't cook off. There's no way to get rid of this poison. And so then it gets turned into animal feed or maybe into cereals for ourselves and our children, and we eat it, or the animals eat it. And then we eat those animals or those eggs or, you know, whatever the byproduct is. So it's really important that we learn where our food is coming from and that we try to purchase local or organic as often as possible, because that's where we can make those little choices that will impact our greater future. But even more important is that we take charge of our own health and we do something about it, because like I said, it's almost unavoidable. And so here with the Million Mom Movement, partnered with Purium, we have some amazing solutions to help you to detox your gut and get rid of these chemicals, and also to help you have a better quality of life. And so a couple of years ago, we started with a letter writing campaign, and it was started by Stephanie Dawn, our chairwoman at the Million Mom Movement. And her passion around the subject had started around the health of her child who had been fed Cheerios. And Cheerios have been found to be the #1 food with the most parts per billion of this chemical glyphosate. And it's really sad because most of us have probably fed this as a first food to our children, or seen other moms feeding it to their children, because it's super easy, it's simple, it's convenient, it's, you know, kids love it. And unfortunately, it's also borderline poisonous for our bodies. And so, and it contains this glyphosate in it. And so we started a letter writing campaign, and we realized that as moms, who has time to write letters or to wait for the response, right? So we decided to pivot, and we wrote a beautiful little petition. And so we are about 2/3 of the way to our mark of 1,000 signatures. And we would love to invite you all to go and sign our petition. We'll go ahead and drop the link in the comments here in a moment, and participate, share it with your community, go out there and share about this issue with our food and our environment with the people that you love, because a lot of people just don't know what they don't know. And that's what we're all here to do. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and pass it back. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Naeva. I really appreciate that. And what an amazing story that you had a childhood growing up with a mom who was already on a mission and yet being exposed simultaneously. It really is invasive and pervasive in our environment. We just don't know what we don't know, and it's buried and it's yet in plain sight all at the same time. So thank you for getting the petition into your hands and into the hands of other people. Our strength is in our numbers. And the Million Mom Movement, as you read the petition, it says right there to General Mills, we invite you into a dialogue with us. We want to be part of the solution. We don't want to vilify anybody. We want companies to make money and be viable and provide food to consumers. We would just want the ethics there that put people over the profits. And that's our commitment with the Million Mom Movement and our partnership with Purium Health Products. Our commitment is that you and your family get into your hands organic, non-GMO superfoods. And I don't know where I do kind of have a sense of where you are. You're all over the place because I asked you at the beginning to drop a note about where you were. But if you're somewhere like I am, I'm in Southeast Michigan, Flint, Michigan specifically, then you have things in your environment you have to deal with. You might be in a food desert like I am. You might have toxins in your environment, in your water supply, in your air, in your soil. You may be exposed. This may not be your fault, so to speak. And then compounded by the choices that we do have in our powers to make that aren't always the best. And they might not be the best for lots of reasons. It might be not the best because we're doing the best with our budget that we can. It might not always be shopping for the best because we've just simply got habits we're working on breaking still. But one thing we can guarantee is that when we are choosing organic non-GMO superfoods from Purium, we are getting pure and premium food delivered into our bodies. And the company has made an effort to create really convenient and economically sound bundles of superfoods to help you get the impact and really incorporate into your lifestyle. And something really cool happened recently. And that is that a little bundle, so appropriate for a family, a little bundle of joy was delivered into Purium Health Products. Jodi Parker, our councilwoman, who we kind of make fun and call her the good doctor because she is just a brain over there. She helped midwife this little bundle into being and helped put together a package with purpose. And so today we're going to introduce to you in a little more detail that bundle of joy and an opportunity to bring that bundle of joy into your home with our February family nutritional reset. And we'll talk more about that, but I'm going to turn it over to our good doc, Jodi Parker. Tell us about this bundle of joy. What'd you name it, babe? What'd you name it?
Oh my gosh. Okay, everyone, is she not like the best wordsmith ever? I love listening to her. Like, I can't do what you do, Rebecca. I love it. Thank you for that introduction. I am not a doctor. Let me just put that out there. I am a mom on a mission like the rest of you. And I happen to have a pretty heavy science background and a super sensitive family. And between the two of them, this lifestyle has become my only choice to create health for me and mine. And so we live like this. And I have been that girl bugging Dave and Amy about, we need a family pack, we need a family pack, we need a family pack. And last spring, they're like, do you want to put one together? No, wait, yeah. And so it launched in November. For those of you who are Purium brand partners, it is also one of the qualifying packs to get their business for free, which makes me really excited. So know that. So let me talk a little bit about this package, but I want to be clear, this package of food, although a great start, is not the lifestyle. It's the start to the lifestyle. So today I'm not only going to talk about the package and the products in the package, but how you achieve this lifestyle. I had a brand partner come to me about a week and a half ago and went, I see it. I get it. I know what I'm trying to do, but I don't know how to get there. It's overwhelming. It's hard. And so today what I'm going to try and do is make it easy for you. And I know that's easy for me to say because I've been living this way for nearly 20 years. But I remember how hard it was to change things. As you learn more and as we know better, we can do better. So today I'm going to give you that overview of how you can really up level your nutrition for your family. I will start it with the family nutrition pack and we'll take it from there. I am a visual learner, so I like to share my screen. So I'm going to do that for all of you so that you can see. Here it is, the family nutrition pack. That is everything you get with the pack, keeping in mind that the low customer price right there is $3.15. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at all that nutrition for that small amount of money. So what you're going to get the 2 shaker bottles, you know, so that people aren't fighting over them. And I'm going to go through the products and a bit of the schedule that goes, a suggested schedule. So do I follow this schedule every day of my life? No. But I created a schedule for people who feel like that they need that crutch as they're learning how to use these and integrate these products into their life. So you're going to get 2 MVP Kids protein powders. That is what it is. It's a nutrient-dense protein powder, 10 grams of pea protein, and it's got 100% vitamin C, 120% vitamin D. It's all whole food, no added sugars, super healthy for you, and it tastes like cold hot chocolate, so your kids will drink it. You're going to get 2 Aloe Digest, which are very, very good for gut health. And for moms who are worried about the lines on their faces, it's also good for building collagen. So I just thought I'd throw that in there. You're going to get 2 apothecaries. The apothecary, I love that name because it really has that almost edge of medicinal quality to it, in the sense that it is so highly anti-inflammatory that a serving of it is the equivalent anti-inflammatory ability of taking 2 ibuprofen. But you're not going to have any side effects, and it's really, really good for you. It's 5,000 ORAC minimum per serving. What does that mean? The ORAC value is how well does it fight free radicals? Free radicals in your body, or are the things that break down your body, break down your cells, or the things that hurt you. And this has that fighting ability. It is the equivalent ORAC value in 1 serving of eating 7 to 10 pieces of fruit, depending on the fruit. So that gives you an idea of just how good it is. But the other thing that it does for you is that it is very high in natural melatonin. What does that mean? It's not like taking melatonin to help you sleep, like when the time changes or when you've been traveling and you need to help yourself go to sleep. This helps your body naturally make melatonin and help you get that deep sleep. But it's not going to cause problems in the long term if you're taking synthetic melatonin. That can really mess up your body's ability to create it. No, this is food. And so it naturally is going to help that deep, restful sleep. I'm going to move on. Immune Shield, just because I'm going left to right here, is our kids' immune product, but I'm going to tell you that's the one I take too. I love that. Its dosing is by weight, and so it's right on the bottle, and so you know how much to give, but it is antibacterial and antiviral and very high in vitamin C and high in adaptogens. An adaptogen is an herb, basically, that helps your body adapt to stress. And we know that stress leads to sickness, and so that's why it helps keep you well. It can be used daily just to keep you well, or you can really pound it in there when at the first signs of getting sick, and it will help your body get through that process in a more quick manner. Ionic elements. Guys, this is really, really underplayed out of all of our Purium products. Minerals are the basis for every biochemical reaction that happens in your body. They are absolutely essential to everything. And many, many people are low on their trace minerals, particularly magnesium. And this product is naturally high in magnesium. And so it is good for every function in your body, but it has an added thing in it that most people aren't aware of. It has something called fulvic acid. You may know about fulvic acid when we talk about Biomedic, because it is the fulvic acid that helps the cell get the glyphosate out. It acts as a bridge. It's not an actual nutrient. Think of it as a bridge between the outside of the cell and the inside of the cell to help nutrients get into the cell and toxins come out of the cell. So when you combine the ionic elements with the Aloe Digest, you're going to get nearly every benefit that you get from the Biomedic. But for those with celiac or who are sensitive to wheat, this is what you would take instead. But it also is going to give you all that deep nutrition that you really need. And so that is how we're taking care of the gut with the family pack, instead of putting the Biomedic in there, because how many children can take a capsule, and because Aloe Digest tastes like apple juice. So your kids will actually take it. Moving on, green spectrum. You do have your choice of whether you get it in the lemon flavor or the original. The original tastes like greens. I use the original, like I throw it on top of soup or pasta or whatever when I want to add more greens into something, and just, you know, sprinkle it right on. The lemon green spectrum tastes a lot like lemon herbal tea, but it is the full spectrum of every green you can think of. It's your sea veggies like your kelp and your, you know, spirulina and your chlorella. It's the things like the kales and the broccolis. It's the wheatgrass and the oatgrass and the alfalfa juice, et cetera, et cetera. But these, all the greens in this product absorb different UV spectrums of the sunlight. And that's why it's called green spectrum. It literally is like drinking sunlight. And so you can imagine it's what feeds every plant on the planet, why that might be good for you. And then finally, in the picture, you see the biofruit. You actually get your choice of the biofruit, or you can look right here, or the Can't Beat This. And when we're putting this pack together, Can't Beat This is one of Purium's most popular products. And it's a great coffee replacement. But some parents are concerned about giving their children caffeine, even though Can't Beat This has an alkaline caffeine. So it's not going to cause the same problems as a coffee. We wanted to give the choice of the biofruit. They're both going to be very high in antioxidants. But I'm going to bring up the schedule now. So I'm going to stop this screen share and bring up the schedule so that you guys can see some ideas on how to use this pack. Now, do you have to do it this way? No. Get the nutrition in however you can. However, if you need some guidance out the door, this is a suggested schedule for a family of 4 for 15 days. This is the schedule we're going to use next month when we have our February family nutrition makeover, to help everyone as a group do it together, to get your family involved. That is going to start the day after Valentine's Day, February 15th. But we're giving you a warning now so that you can get it ordered. Most people like to order on the first of the month, because if you're like me, you like your points to be in the next month, right? So if you order it on February 1st, you will have it in time to join us starting the 15th. And this is our suggested schedule. The green spectrum on an empty stomach, first thing in the morning. Carmela's not on the line today, but I will ask her to post. She has these adorable little shot glasses she got for her kids. And you can get these cool little glasses, and everybody around the kitchen island do this first thing in the morning. Why did we suggest to do it on an empty stomach just like this? Because the greens are super alkalizing. What does that mean? It's a big word, but why do you care? Why is that important? Okay, water is neutral. And pretty much everything you eat, except for fruits and vegetables, will make you acidic. And when your body is acidic, it is going to grow things like yeast, funguses, viruses, bacteria, much more. It throws the body out of balance. It also inhibits the chemical reactions in your body, because those like to take place in a more maybe slightly acidic, like 6.8, whereas water is 7 on the pH scale, but too acidic is going to make you sick. This is a way that you can get the body alkalized and more towards that neutral state very easily and very quickly. The one thing that people don't realize is greens taste bad when you're acidic, especially the bitters in the greens. But the more your body gets into pH balance, the better the greens taste. So if you have a child that is like, I don't like the taste, this is going to sound weird, but you're going to want to swish it in the mouth. Swishing it in the mouth changes the pH in the mouth, which changes the taste, and it will taste better. So if you're gonna do this schedule, I would recommend getting the lemon green spectrum over the regular. We have both in our house. But the lemon is the one you're gonna wanna do the shots with because it tastes better and kids are more likely to drink it. You can also like squeeze some lemon juice into it, or, you know, maybe add a bit of honey or a bit of lemonade to make it taste better, anything to get them in there. But we'll talk about why you don't want it too much sugar in my next segment, but I'm gonna move on. MVP Kids Protein, I'm drinking it right now. I have it every morning. My kids do it every morning. The first thing in the morning is the best time to eat protein because it's when you have the most stomach acid, and stomach acid is what digests protein. And so having a good protein content in your breakfast is important because of that, and because it helps keep the blood sugar stable throughout the day. And so that is why we recommended using it with your breakfast. It can also be an afternoon snack. You don't have to use it that way. But my kids every day mix it into their oatmeal. Well, one of my kids really likes buckwheat cereal, so he puts it in his buckwheat, and he adds barley green juice, but you could add the green spectrum if you wanted. My daughter mixes it with her oats and almond butter and bananas and honey. That's one of her favorite things. So you can get really, really creative. I have everything but the kitchen sink in my current smoothie that I'm drinking right now. It has the kids protein, it has the can't beat this, it has the biofruit, it has the ionic elements, it has the kamut blend and the mora greens, and yeah, I'm that girl. But get creative, but in the morning is a great time to have that kids protein. The can't beat this or the biofruit, that's the one where you get the choice of either or. The can't beat this is a great, great substitute for coffee. Go watch Taz in her live that she did this morning, the Million Mom Movement official Facebook page. She went from 6 espressos a day. Oh my gosh, I don't know how you sat still, to no coffee at all and drinking can't beat this. It really does work. But it's not going to give you that jittery kind of feeling that coffee does because it's an alkaline, more natural form of caffeine. But beets are amazing. Beets are good for your liver, they're good for your spleen, they're great for building blood, they're great for iron deficiency, they're great for any kind of chronic like viral condition because they help you build that blood and help your spleen do its job. Your spleen is associated with your immune system. I mean, it's just so good for you. And it also increases your oxygenation because it helps to open up the arteries in your body so you get more oxygen. So you can understand now why it's one of Purine's most popular products. The biofruit is very similar. It has beets in it, and it has like 17 other fruits in it, really high in antioxidants and a great source of vitamin C. Some kids will just drink it alone. You can mix it into their juice. You can put it in a smoothie, use it however you want. But that's your choice there. And then moving down, the apothecary, the ionic elements, and the aloe digest. On this schedule, I suggested you do them together. And in the evening, about 2 hours before bed, you want to make sure that the kids go to the bathroom before bed. We don't want any accidents in the middle of the night. But I already explained that the cherry is going to help you sleep, not only because of its melatonin producing qualities, but because it's anti-inflammatory. So you're not going to be sore. You know, it's going to help with joint pain and muscle pain and things like that because it has that anti-inflammatory action. The ionic elements, being high in magnesium, helps to relax the muscles. So it's going to help you sleep. The aloe digest is super, super good for your gut health. And so together, the ionic elements and the aloe digest are going to help soothe that gut. And in the same way that the biomedic does, get the glyphosate out. And your digestion works at night, overnight. So by taking it in the night, you give your organs time to really heal while you sleep. And the last reason that I put these three together on the schedule is because they taste really good together. The ionic elements alone it tastes like seawater. It's not a pleasant taste. You don't want to try and drink it alone, but in the cherry and the aloe digest, it's like if you ever had like that cranberry apple juice that kids always loved, it tastes kind of like that. I mean, cherry is tart like the cranberry, and the aloe digest tastes like apple juice. So it's this sweet, my kids love it. My kids also add the pineapple glucohydrate into that. It tastes really, really good. And if you use one of those milk frothers, they think it tastes like an Izzy, which is like a organic soda pop. And so they think they're getting a treat when they're really getting super healthy food. And then finally, the immune shield is something that you can take, like if your kids are going back to school and you're worried about their immune health, give them a little bit every morning before they go to school, just to help keep that immune system healthy. And or at the first sign of illness, you're going to want to push the dosage. So if you see signs of getting sick, you're going to want to double up on the dosage, or maybe even go further depending on how bad the symptoms are, to help push the body's immune system to work more efficiently to get through the illness faster. So that's the schedule. I'm going to stop the share on that because that is the family immune pack, or a family nutrition pack. Sorry, I had immune shield on the brain. All right, but what else are you going to eat, right? That's not enough food daily. You've got kids that want to snack all day. And knowing the guidelines around what should I be eating, this isn't like the 30-day. I'm not going to give you a list of flex foods. I'm not going to say you must eat this, you must eat that. That's not what this is about. This is about a lifestyle. It's manageable, especially like I know I'm a mom of 3. I homeschooled even before COVID. I'm on this council. I've got my period business. I know what it means to be busy. And so I want to give you guys some guidance on, here, let me pull this up, how to look at your diet. All right. So, oh wait, I brought up the schedule again. Sorry. Let me share the right screen here. Nutrition optimization. Which one is, that's the schedule. Why is it not coming up? Is this the right one? Sorry, guys. It's mislabeled. That's why I'm not bringing it up correctly. I'm so sorry. No, that is so weird.
That was the right document, I thought, just then. The one with artificial flavors.
Yes.
Whatever you just pulled up was the right one, I believe.
Okay. Do I have the right one up? Which one is showing up here? It says Guide to Optimizing Food Choice. Is that what you guys are seeing?
Yes,
Okay,
we
good.
see it.
I have too many things open on my computer, you guys. Now you see it. Family Nutrition Guide to Optimizing Food Choice. Here we are. So here's some guidelines for you when you're shopping and out and about, so that you know what you're doing, because sometimes what we think is healthy isn't actually healthy. And so I want to help you figure that out. So learning to read labels is a big, big deal. My kids have been taught how to read the labels on everything. And so that is going to be your first step. Always read your labels, okay? And here's what you need to know when reading those labels. Conventionally produced products are something that you want to avoid. Glyphosate, we talked about, it's the #1 herbicide sprayed on conventional crops, and it's implicated in a whole host of health problems. It causes damage to the gut microbiome, which in turn can lead to all kinds of chronic conditions. You do not want to eat it. You know, this is going to sound extreme, but as far as I'm concerned, it's poison. I avoid it in any way that I can. So you want to skip conventionally produced products. You want to choose certified organic foods, because they are not allowed to be sprayed with glyphosate. Does glyphosate contaminate some organic foods? Yes, we can't get it out of the rainwater. We can't get it out of the groundwater. You are going to have that contamination. It's why we have the aloe digest and the ionic elements in the pack, but you're going to be far better off with organic food. Something that most people don't realize, though, is we think of glyphosate going with genetically modified foods, but that isn't only the case. Yes, you don't want to eat genetically modified foods. Some people call them frankenfoods. Why would you want to eat that when you think of it that way, right? But it's also used as a desiccant. So it's on things like oats and lentils and wheat, which are not genetically modified foods. Corn and soy and beet sugar, those are some of your high genetically modified foods, but your grains are not, but they're still going to have glyphosate in it. So a lot of people, especially if you've decided to go gluten-free, get non-GMO foods, and you think you're doing the right thing. However, non-GMO just means it's not genetically modified. It will still have glyphosate in it. That doesn't mean a whole lot. So be aware of that. You can go on Environmental Working Group has an entire list of what foods are commonly genetically modified. Like I said, corn, soy, and beet sugar are going to be the big ones that you are exposed to, but there's a whole list more. But as far as I'm concerned, go organic. They can't have GMO foods in it, and they can't have glyphosate in it, and that just makes it easier. Don't make it hard on yourself. Refined sugars. So anything that's refined has had all of its nutrition pulled out of it. Sugar, they believe, is more addictive than cocaine. It's really bad for you. It's very addicting. It feeds the bad funguses in your gut. It's what yeast lives on. If you have problems with candida or yeasts, then you have to take the sugar out of your diet. But I get it. You're going to want sweet things. Stick with, and I also have on here corn syrup. Corn syrup puts stress on the liver because it's digested a little bit differently. Agave nectar as well. So it's going to put stress on your liver, which is the main detox organ in your body. You want it functioning at its highest level. But if you choose sweeteners like dates and maple syrup and honey that haven't been processed, they're going to still have all their minerals. They're still going to have their fiber. It is a better way. Your body knows how to digest that because it's a natural product. So if you're going to sweeten things, use those things instead of a refined sugar. It's going to be the same with refined flours. They are stripped of their fiber. They're stripped of their vitamins, of their minerals. There's no nutritional value to a refined flour. You're going to want to go with whole grains, but even more importantly, I don't want to take this off screen share because I'll not be able to find it again, but I don't know if you can see me on your screen. These are oats, but if you look, it's rolled oats, but they're sprouted. When you sprout your grains, it breaks down the phytic acid in them. Phytic acid is naturally occurring in your grains, but it interferes with mineral absorption. And so if you're eating a lot of grains, you actually can find yourself mineral deficient, which is another reason ionic elements is in your pack. But sprouting them breaks down that phytic acid. So does soaking them. And it's not just grains, it's also things like nuts and seeds. Soaking them overnight in water will also break that down so that you're better able to absorb the nutrition from it. So that's why I put there that even better sprouted whole grains and sprouted sunflower seeds, sprouted nuts are going to be easier for your body to digest. Fried foods, we all know fried foods are bad for us, right? I mean, it makes the fats go rancid. Do you want to eat rancid food? Need I say more? I don't think I need to go further into that, but they're super acidifying to the body, which we already talked about how that's really bad for your immune health. Baking or roasting are going to be the way to go. I didn't put this on here because I have that brain that I could just like keep going, but I don't want to overwhelm. Certain fats break down at lower temperatures. So you can go on and you can look up which fats are good for baking, which fats are good for roasting, so that you're using the right oils to cook with. Because like olive oil shouldn't be used at high temperatures. It breaks it down, it makes it go rancid, it makes it not good for you anymore. It's better at low temperatures. So make sure you understand that as you're cooking. Artificial dyes and flavorings. Honestly, they're known as excitatory neurotoxins. What does that mean? It means it makes your nervous system go into overdrive. What does that mean? It means you have hyper children who don't sleep, or who throw fits, or who are moody. That is why you want to avoid that. People always say, oh, they're on a sugar high. Nope. No, they aren't. No, they have done experiment after experiment after experiment after experiment. It is not the sugar that causes hyperactivity. It is the chemicals. It is the dyes and the flavorings, more the dyes than the flavorings, but neither are good for you. And people say, but I don't want to take these away from my kids. You can find organic products like lollipops and gummy bears and Starburst that are dyed with things like pomegranate and turmeric and blueberry and beets that still look the same, they still taste the same, but they don't have poison in them. So that's a really big deal. And this is where reading the labels is so important. All right, so I have one more screen. I gotta stop this share and go to the next one. Sorry, guys. It's right here. You see, yes, good. So here's what else you need to know. Low-fat foods. Okay, fat is good for you. You need fat. You cannot make cell membranes without fat. Your brain is mostly cholesterol. Your hormones are made with fat. Low fat is bad for you. It's not healthy, but you need healthy fat, nuts, seeds, avocados, olives, things like that. Trans fat bad, natural fat good, okay? But low fat foods replace the fat with sugar to make them taste better. We already talked about why sugar is bad for you. You just want to eat real food. So if it's being processed to within an inch of its life, I mean, who out there, and we're moving on to fast foods, who's seen that picture from like 2012 of the McDonald's hamburger and fries and chicken nuggets that still look exactly the same and have no mold? And, you know, if a cockroach won't eat it, if mold won't eat it, you should think about what that's doing in your body. Ugh, it just, ugh. Right? And fast foods have chemicals in them that make them addictive. I'm going to rock some people's world. I'm sorry, this is going to upset you. Chick-fil-A is full of MSG. People crave Chick-fil-A because it's full of MSG. MSG, monosodium glutamate, is a natural compound found in foods. Glutamate is a natural neurotransmitter in your brain. It's excitatory. It wakes you up. When you overdo it, you get things like migraines and hyperactivity and inability to focus. And it also makes things that taste, it tells your body that things that are rancid taste good. There's a reason why cheap Chinese food puts MSG in it. Okay, so that's a big one. But I know that as a mom, we need to be able to do things fast. I don't even think I wrote it on here. My Vitamix is my very best friend. I make everything in a Vitamix. I make salsa and sauces and soups and smoothies and sorbet and hummus, and I love my Vitamix. But also using your crock pot or an Instapot. You can go on the millionmommovement.info webpage. We've got an entire list of recipes for you. We have a Facebook group, Purium Lifestyle Recipes, full of ideas that are not hard to make and not time consuming. It takes a little bit of planning, but it isn't hard. You know, we made a bunch of soup this weekend in Chile. We roasted a bunch of veggies. We've been eating them for 4 days. So there are ways to make life simple and fast without eating fast food. Man-made ingredients, something most people don't think about is the way the body works is with enzymes. And if you remember back to biology, an enzyme is like a key. It speeds up a chemical reaction, but it fits with compounds like a key does. And I'm going to use an example here. You can read what's in front of you, but let me give you an example of a man-made ingredient you want to avoid. Most of us are not doing dairy because dairy is really, really, really hard for humans to digest. Cows have 4 stomach chambers and digest things twice, right? And that's why so many people have trouble with dairy. But then we go to things like rice milk and oat milk and hemp milk and almond milk and all of those. And you'll look on the ingredients and it'll say B12, that it is fortified with B12. It's an isolate, and isolated vitamins are never a good idea because your body doesn't absorb things in isolates. It absorbs things as a whole. But when you have a synthetic, the enzymes don't fit the synthetic in the same way they fit the natural product, okay? So in those milks that you're buying that are fortified with B12, the natural form of B12 that your body uses is called methylcobalamin. And a methyl group is just a carbon with 3 hydrogens. It's why greens are so good for you. They help your body methylate, which is how your DNA expresses itself. Okay, so methylcobalamin is how your body uses vitamin B12. In those milks, it's cyanocobalamin, C-Y-A-N-O. Cyano, that's cyanide. It's a cyanide compound. So in order for your body to use it, it has to take that cyanide compound off of the cobalamin part, add a methyl group to make it methylcobalamin so that your body can absorb it, but then it has to detox the cyanide. So it's putting stress on your body, okay? That is why these isolated vitamins and these synthetic vitamins, on one hand, could just make for really expensive urine, but on the other hand, can actually be damaging, especially if you are like my family, very sensitive and have trouble detoxing anyway. It's going to put extra stress on your body you don't need. So just avoid man-made ingredients. Just eat real food. When you're reading the label, if you don't know what it is, then don't eat it. It's that simple, which brings me to my final point, grocery shopping. Most of the fresh foods are going to be on the outer perimeter of the grocery store. So you want to shop the outer perimeter and mostly skip the inner perimeter where you have a lot of food-like products that may not actually be food. Now there are going to be dry goods, things like dried beans or cereals or oats or things like that. You're going to want to read the ingredients, make sure they're organic, and the fewer the ingredients, the better. Go on McDonald's or Chick-fil-A's website and look up the ingredients and look up all the chemicals that are in those foods versus, just eating beef or just eating oats or whatever it is. Avoid the chemicals, just eat real food. So I'm going to stop that share. I just fit a whole bunch of information into a very short time. And I know people are like, I'm a little overwhelmed. It's why I wrote it down. This was recorded, so you'll be able to watch it again. Remember the pink slime? Oh, Cheryl, did you have to? Did you have to go there? Oh, the pink slime, gross. But do we have any questions? We've got 10 minutes and we do have to close. We need to
Jodi, we have a few announcements before we close, so we really only have like 3 minutes for questions right now.
All right, do we have any questions that we really need to touch on?
There were 2 questions in the chat. One was, is organic cane sugar okay if it's just used occasionally?
I would say go with the 80-20 rule. That's what most people will tell you. 80% of the time, be super, super healthy. 20% of the time, give yourself a break. Some people do it 6 days a week. They eat really healthy. And on Sunday, they eat whatever they want. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to have a birthday party and you're making a cake, refined like sucanat is good, like use sucanat, which is the full sugar versus the really refined white sugar is going to be better. It's going to taste the same. But guilt is just as bad for you. So don't go there.
Great. Next question. I'm going to read them fast. What's the difference between MVP Kids and Epigenius?
They're completely and totally and 100% different. They can't even be compared. MVP Kids is a chocolate kids protein. It is high in vitamin C and vitamin D, but it's got a couple other nutrients in it, but it's mostly just a protein. Epigenius Kids is an all-in-one meal replacement. It's got fruits, it's got veggies, it has the Biomedic in it, it has good fats, it has the protein in it. But you can even see by the cost difference, the 2 products really can't be compared because they're totally different purposes. Does that help? Does that make sense?
Perfect. Next question. You guys are really good. This is great. Is taking Biomedic and also drinking Aloe Digest with ionic elements daily too much?
It's going to depend on the person and how well you detox and if you need it. I mean, I don't think the Aloe Digest and the ionic elements are going to hurt you. Taking Biomedic every day long-term for a lot of people is going to drain your minerals because remember I told you fulvic acid helps take things out of the cell, but it also helps put things in the cell over time, it can drain you of your minerals. So if you're taking Biomedic every day, you need to be taking ionic elements every day too. So that is how I'd answer that.
Perfect. If we take the super aminos in the morning, is that enough protein, or would you also suggest having additional protein like MVP?
It depends on the person. Different people have different protein needs. Some people go with the blood type diet and say, like, oh, blood types need more protein. People who have adrenal fatigue need more protein because they need that blood sugar stabilization. See how you feel. The 5 super aminos is the equivalent protein absorption of about a half-pound hamburger. So that gives you an idea from a protein perspective, but is it going to help you maintain your blood sugar in the same way? Like if you have adrenal fatigue, probably not. And so, then throw the MVP kids in there too to help with that. But listen to your own body. These are just guidelines. Everybody is going to be different. But there are plenty of times when I've just thrown, 10 aminos in my mouth and run out the door and been fine for 3 hours. So it depends on the person. So listen to your body and see how you feel.
Awesome. Listen, I know you all can't get enough of Jodi, but we really only do have 1 hour. Jodi, you are the bomb, girl. If you loved this information, drop a J for Jodi up in this piece. I know she rocked it. It's amazing to learn and get the knowledge. Look at all those J's, girl. Look at you. 5 dozen J's in the house. So it's really amazing to get this knowledge in because, understanding really does improve your desire and your ability and your motivation. So I really respect the information that was shared and all of you for listening. I know you were just ravaging with notes, beating up your papers, but this is going to be available on replay. And listen, the best way to be a continuous student of Jodi and Dave Sandoval and Amy Venner and the council and other leaders of the organization and the mission is to join us. So February 15th, we kick off the family nutrition. What are we calling that, Jodi? The family nutrition.
I said makeover, but that might be too cheesy.
It might be too cheesy. All right. Well, it's going to be the family nutrition thing is what we're going to call it for now. Just come do the family nutrition thing. You got to get your bundle. You get your bundle of joy before February 15th, because we start on the 15th. And that day, Jodi will be hosting a Million Mom Movement pop-up so that we can kick off that 2-week program together. So make sure that you get your orders in, get your people to get their orders in, and join us for the 15th pop-up. In the meantime, though, join us in the movement. We look for partners who will link arms with us. And so tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, there is a Friday night business opportunity Zoom that is normally hosted by Dave Sandoval and Amy Venner. I will be filling in for them this evening. I will be interviewing a very special guy. He's a dad and man on a mission, Jeff Brown, who will be talking to us about how he's built a stream of income and made a difference in the world for people using these opportunities. And then I want someone on the council to talk to us about something else. Taz Ferreira is going to talk to us about the scholarship program. Okay, we have a scholarship program for our business opportunity and that Taz is going to talk about. And next Fierce Friday, we're going to be interviewing 3 moms on missions who are scholarship recipients who will share what it's been like to receive the scholarship, the courtesy foods that come with it each month for several months, and their mentorship experience where they're personally and professionally developing. So tonight's that business opportunity. Next Friday is that call with the scholarship recipients. February 15th is our pop-up. We've got so much more than that. But Taz, why don't you close us today with talking about the scholarship program and what recipients receive in that program.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Well, I get asked all the time, well, how can I afford this? Right? Organic foods are so expensive. How can we afford it? Well, Did you know Purium actually offers a scholarship to low economic families? And this is the way that we want to empower you. We want to empower you not only through superfoods, but through the business, right? So if you know someone that wants to do the business and they want to be empowered with, aligned with superfoods, have them check out the Million Mom Movement.info/scholarship. What you have to do, you go on there and this is for families all across Canada and the US. And you have to see if you fit the economic profile, and you get a business assessment, wellness assessment, and you have to let us know who invited you to this, who invited you into our family, into our whole food, superfood family, and apply. And we will love to interview you and get to know you and see if you're a right fit for us, because we need to spread this movement. We need you to share this message and tell everyone about it. And we are here to help you along the way. Business coaching, wellness coaching, superfoods, everything. We are here for you, and we need to do this together.
Awesome, Taz. Thank you so much. The scholarship, just to respond to a couple things, the scholarship is for the business. There are several months of complimentary bundles of joy that will get delivered to your home. You'll get to choose each month what you are receiving. There is personal and professional development along the way. And yes, those people are building their businesses just like any other brand partner. They can get the fast start bonuses. They can be on all the training calls. They can come to all the events. They're no different in what they're able to produce or do as a brand partner. They've simply come in to the opportunity through the Million Mom Movement and our scholarship program in partnership with Purium Health Products. And the Million Mom Movement does do specialized training for scholarship recipients and their sponsors and upline diamonds. If you've already started as a brand partner and are in process, you can't apply. So consider who are the non-brand partners you have that you'd like to bring in. Customers can apply and become brand partners if they've been happy customers to date. And if you tune in tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, thank you. I think Jodi posted the link in there. When I interview Jeff Brown tonight, we will be talking about the entry points to come into the opportunity so that you can be successful with us. This is a movement. This is a movement. So without all of you sharing, all of us sharing to bring more people in, it's really just a gathering of a few people talking. And so we are committed to the opportunity of sharing, and that what I call micro philanthropy, that $50 gift that you give away with that gift card every time you share generously, is an act of revolution. It is saying we are not buying into the system that poisons and compromises people for profits. So thank you all for bringing yourselves to this call. Thank you for visiting the sites and the groups for the Million Mom Movement. And thank you for being present out in the field, making a difference. You are making a difference. So thank you for being with us, and we'll see you again next Fierce Friday. Peace.
Thank you, everyone.